You've seen those videos, right? Some 20-something posing with a rented Lamborghini telling you how he escaped the matrix and you can too. Well, welcome to the wild, multi-billion-dollar world of retail prop trading. It's an industry that sells a dream, the ultimate ticket to financial freedom. But today, we're going to pop the hood and see what's really going on inside.
So what's the deal here? Is prop trading a legitimate career path, a real way to build skill and wealth, or is it something else entirely? A game where the rules are hidden, the odds are stacked against you, and the house is basically guaranteed to win. That's the big question we're going to answer.
And it all kicks off with the marketing, of course. It's incredibly slick, and it targets that very modern feeling that a normal 9-to-5 is never going to get you where you want to go. They're not just selling a trading strategy, they're selling a fantasy of supercars, huge profits, and being your own boss.
This right here, this is the hook. It's the core belief that reels people in. The prop firms step in and say, hey, we know you're a talented trader. The only thing holding you back is capital. They position themselves as the great equalizer, the solution to your biggest problem.
The deal they lay out sounds almost perfect, doesn't it? It's framed like this incredible opportunity, kind of like a job interview. You just pay a small fee to prove your skills in a challenge. You pass, they hand you a massive funded account. You do the trading, they take on all the risk, and you split the profits. I mean, it sounds simple, right? Yeah, well, not so fast. Because behind that beautifully simple pitch is a very, very carefully designed system. And once you understand the actual mechanics of that system, oh boy, it changes everything. Okay, so here's how it actually goes down. First, you pay that fee up front, and just so we're clear, you're never seeing that money again. Then you get access to a trading platform. But if you break their rules, if you lose a certain amount, boom, you're out. And the firm, they just pocket your fee. But here is the biggest secret of all. The part they don't exactly put in the ads. That funded account you're trading with, it's not real money. It's a demo account. It's paper trading. You aren't actually in the market. You are playing an extremely realistic video game. So you might be thinking, okay, but what if I win? What if I'm a trading genius and pass the challenge? Well, the firm pays you your profit split. But here's the twist. That money didn't come from your brilliant trade in the market. It came from the giant pot of fees collected from the thousands and thousands of traders who failed. You see, this whole business model works because it leans on a powerful, almost unbreakable mathematical certainty. It's a principle that ensures that over the long run, the house, in this case the prop firm, literally cannot lose. It's called gambler's ruin.
The concept is simple, but it's absolutely brutal. If you play any game where the odds are even slightly stacked against you and you play long enough, the probability that you will lose everything gets closer and closer to 100%. It's not a question of skill or luck. It's just math.
And that brings us to the real reason these firms have such strict rules. You know, those daily drawdown limits and tight profit targets. They aren't there to help you become a better trader. No way. They're designed to force you to take bigger risks, which just speeds up the math of gambler's ruin. They ensure you fail, and you fail faster.
And the data? Well, the data proves it. The failure rate for these trading challenges is an absolutely staggering 93%. Just think about that for a second. For every 100 people who pay that fee, 93 of them are just donating their money to the system.
Okay, but what about the winners? What about that tiny elite group who beats the odds? Let's say you're a prodigy, you master the game. What do you actually get for all that stress and all that effort? So here's the reality of the game in a picture. A tiny little sliver, 7%, ever actually manage to pass and get a payout. The other 93%, well, by now you know what they're doing. They're funding the prize pool. And for that elite 7%, the winners, the average return they manage to make is just 4%. Let that sink in. You fight your way through this incredibly difficult, high-stress gauntlet, and the grand prize waiting at the end of the rainbow is a 4% profit. The comparison is almost comical, really. To become a winning prop trader, you're signing up for massive stress, endless hours staring at charts, and the constant threat of getting kicked out. The alternative? You could have just bought a US Treasury bond and gone to the beach. So the reward for being in the top 7% of this insanely difficult game is a return that is identical to what you'd get from the safest, most boring, risk-free investment on planet Earth.
That is just how absurd the prize really is. So if the returns aren't the point, then what is? This brings us to the final and maybe the most important truth about this entire industry and exactly where you fit into it. In the prop trading business model, you are not the customer. You're not really even the trader. You, and more specifically, your challenge fee, are the product. Your dream, your attempt, your fee, that is the raw material that fuels the whole business. You are the liquidity. So all those success stories you see plastered all over social media, they are not proof that this is a real viable career path. They are the firm's marketing budget. They're the living, breathing proof of life that creates just enough hope to keep the other 93% feeding their money into the machine. Which leaves us with one final, kind of uncomfortable question. We're always told that to win, you have to take risks, you have to play the game. But when a game is this rigged, when the math is fundamentally broken from the start, maybe the smartest, most profitable trade you can possibly make is to just not play at all.